back their team captain, NEMO. So she's going to join us to talk about what's happening here. So if we can bring her on, that's ideal. And hey, Nemo, how are you feeling? I know your team's down 2 points heading into the round, but seeing the games unfold right now, you feeling a little bit better with VAR on the ground?
Yeah, absolutely. I really like Akobian's position. I actually just heard you guys talking about it and talking about how he likes his really positional sound openings. And it looks like he's come out of it with a slight edge. And it looks great. We just need to make up the 2 points, That's all we have to do.
Yeah, yeah. It's nice when you say it out loud. It doesn't sound as daunting. I mean, 2 point lead is kind of significant, but I mean, with the lineup that St. Louis has, you can definitely make that up in an entire round. And personally, from the positions that I know VAR thrives in, Nemo, I think he's going to win this game for sure.
Yeah, I think he's got, a pretty confident game right now. He's got a very solid advantage. I don't see any way for this to go wrong. So
Mhm.
honestly, and all the other boards are more or less equal. You know, um, maybe Nicholas has to do a little defense, but other than that, I think it's going pretty well. So I'm
Yeah,
looking
this is
forward to the results here.
totally with you. I mean, this is just clean play. White's pawn structure super healthy. This is a great pawn chain. The pawn chain is strong as his base pawn. Good luck getting to f2. Whereas Black's pawn's all out in the open. So while VAR and Aditya they don't have moves going, let's kind of zoom out for a second because you mentioned how Nicholas might have a little bit of defensive task. What about Fabiano on the top left? His position looks very healthy, and he has nearly a 5 minute lead on the clock.
Honestly, I like the 5 minute lead. I care about the 5 minute lead a lot more than I care about the, equal position. It is a 10 plus 2 format, so Tabatabe is going to get increment, but it's queen and knights, and there's like this saying in end games you like having, you like to pair queens with knights because you get more control over different squares. So I like his chances, especially with 5 minutes, with 6 minutes to 1 minute. Like that's pretty solid. And he's pushing his pawns. He might go for h3 or something. I really like that structure for Fabi. He's pushing for a win for sure.
Yeah, this actually does look like a position structurally. White's queenside pawns look a little disconnected, and with h3 coming in, it might get to a situation where like White's king is under constant threat, and meanwhile the queenside pawns are also a problem. So Fabi's like creating problems on both sides of the board, which I think is a great strategy.
Absolutely. Rule of two
Yeah,
weaknesses, right?
That's right,
E-
exactly.
Exactly that. And I was thinking, he drew his first game, so people are like, oh, what's Fabi? What's wrong with him? But he was playing a very strong player. He won game two, and now he's posing all the problems here in the third game. But the pressure is kind of on each and every individual on St. Louis. They feel like they have to win because they entered the match, third round of the match here, down by 2 points. And well, Fabi's hopping his knight around, and watch out.
A
Yeah.
lot of
Uh-oh.
attacks are coming.
Hmm.
It's looking good for Fabi.
You like to see these weaknesses. Suddenly the f4 square, maybe even throwing the pawn to h3. I think if the knight moves from e3, we might even see a sack on g4.
Anything gap. I really like the knight coming to f4.
Hmm.
White just has to play so carefully now, and with such little time on the clock, I think it's very, very likely that Fabi is able to pull off a win in this game.
Yeah, if king f2, you can play queen d3, try to get a queen trade because there are forks everywhere. That's why the king stepped here. So this is the only piece not in the game. This knight and f6. Like if you
Yeah.
could bring this knight somewhere, you would feel great about it. But I was just say I don't want to give the d5 square. I forgot about the other knight. It's covering it.
Well, maybe there's like some knight h7, knight g5 ideas just coming for the
Hmm.
f pawn, coming for the h3 square as well. A lot of
Yeah.
things are definitely happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe maybe queen c6, queen takes c3, set up a few
Yes.
cheapos. Those are the things
Yeah.
that sometimes work when you're low on time, and Abby is going to be so good, I think, at using his time advantage to create these little
Hmm.
problems that are tough to navigate.
Absolutely. To be fair, Taba
You could see.
Tabe is 26.55, so I don't know if the cheapo might work, but you can always go
Yeah,
for it.
I forgot I wasn't back on my stream doing Sub Sunday with the chat. Sorry, I got carried away
Yes.
there.
Well, Fabi's in great shape here in this game, but let's zoom out for a second because every single point is important for the squads. Wow, I mean, Amin is living on the increment. Look at the bar; it actually dipped in that game as
Yeah.
soon as we left it from Fabi, and we'll go right back. It looks like the king quickly went to f2. I mentioned queen d3 as one option. I actually don't know what white does after queen d3 because your threat is simple: take and then fork on d3.
Yeah, it looks really
Yeah.
uncomfortable, honestly.
That's a powerful fork. I mean, after queen d3, I assume you just have to play queen to d2. But black just looks like he has so many options in this position.
White can
Yeah.
hardly move.
He can
Yeah.
pose so
Oh,
many threats.
it's the
Hey?
NEMO
It's the
playing the NEMO
Nemo.
line. I like
Yeah,
it. It's
he's
a
playing
great
the knight in.
choice.
Yeah. Activating all
Just
the
want to
pieces.
activate, Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Just gotta go for
White
that.
can hardly move. I mean, okay, you get one pawn push. You can pin this knight over here. Maybe we'll see a queen try to go to d8, but I don't think Fabi's gonna blunder us gonna back rank checkmate or anything like that.
Yeah, no back rank
Yeah.
checkmate. But if queen c5, queen d2, knight g5, queen d8 actually wins that knight, might not win the game because there might be like a knight d3 to follow, but just kind of a weird
Wait,
fork there.
there's knight h3 though, right? Because you have the
Yep.
fork. You can just win the queen
Oh,
back.
oh, that's
Yeah.
nasty. So maybe a cheapo, knight g5 to think that
Cheapo,
you're
yeah.
blundering
No,
it.
he didn't play knight g5. What is this,
Damn.
Bobby? We were just planning out Tabatabe's loss
We
of the
mapped out
queen.
the whole blunder. Courtesy of
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
He's too strategic. He's saying, "You played c4. Let me get my
Yeah.
knight into d4." Come on, Fabi. We want tactics, not
Yeah,
strategy right now.
he's too strong.
he's too
That's the
good.
problem right now.
Yes,
Well,
he would have won this game a
better and
lot
better.
faster if he just cheapoed.
I actually think
Yeah.
that is true. Like, no joke. I think he would have won like on the spot if he had played knight g5. But this is also domination. Queen, bishop a3. Okay, the queen can just move, pick a square anywhere. Maybe
Mhm.
c6 or c8. I don't know. Pick one.
Yeah. There's just no way for white to really break through. I mean, I like queen c8 because maybe after queen at b4, there's some queen f8 idea. So you're just preemptively stopping that. And then you just go for knight takes f3 with no worries at all. So I like that idea a lot.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
with
every
indeed.
move looks more or less, yeah.
I think Fabi's did
Every
well
move
when he
looks
listens
yeah,
to you.
exactly. Every move looks more or less like your moves. That's what I was about to say.
This is the job of the captain, I'm feeding him brainwaves.
Very nice.
Oh, look at this move. Knight b5.
Knight
Wow.
b5.
This is an amazing game. Just take
That's sick.
this, take that, play h3, and go checkmate this king.
That's so
Beautiful.
extravagant. Yeah, that's so.
I
Yeah, that's some Fabi style right there. That's great.
feel like there's got to be a mate somewhere with queen e2. Let's go right for this king.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
queen e2, king h3, and just sit there for a sec.
He's definitely
g5.
just calculating. He's just thinking right now. Yeah, queen e2.
g5.
Maybe
Hey,
more.
at least I got one. Finally, after all my blunders.
G5.
Wow, what a
Yeah.
win for Fabi there.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
So, Nemo, you feeling a little bit better now after that victory?
Absolutely. I mean, that game was beautiful. There's just G5 finishing off the game. You're threatening queen F1. The only way
Mhm.
white can defend is queen C1, and then you can just take on F3 with checkmate. I mean, that's a really nice tactic to spot, and the whole setup leading up to that moment was great. So, we're now only down 1 point, and as far as the other games go, I'm feeling pretty good about the match overall. Akobian still, winning in his rook end game. I'm sure
Mhm.
with as much experience as he does have, he can win this rook end game. I wouldn't be so confident, in myself, but I think he's got this one down.
I mean, I'm confident in your play. You just told Fabi what to do. He did everything. He won the game. So it's a clean extra pawn for Vara Kobian. We did see that Rochelle Wu is probably about to lose her game to Harika Dronavali. It's what happens when board four for one team is lower rated than the rest. But right now, we see that Vara Kobian up a minute, up a pawn, and it's a healthy passer. And Amon, that was your hero. That was Aditya Mittal. He was the one who was upsetting the archbishops, but not in this round.
Well, hang on. I think there's work to be done. Like, it's definitely about as bad as an endgame could get for black because your king is cut off. But hey, the white king doesn't have progress to make, and it's not entirely clear what white's going to do if black just shuffles this rook.
Right.
That's
I
why.
think you have to, go for the F3 pawn push, but I don't really see like what Robert, you're an expert on games. What would you say White's plan here would be?
Well, definitely to get this king eventually around this way, but do not take this pawn. They lose on the spot. Rook b7, pawn a7, rook b. That's obvious. So for Var Akobian. So I think what you have to do is just move back and forth. And when this king eventually runs away, the black g pawn will become a passer and distract the white forces. So the eval bar actually went down. I'm sorry to say that, Nemo. Oh no, this could be a spoiled opportunity for the archbishops. But Nemo, I know you're streaming, and we do want to let you have calmer territory with your channel. So thanks for joining us here. And I just have to say, Arjun Aragaisi beat Nicholas Theodora. So I'm going to send you on your way. And sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but it's
Oh,
always
I
great to
was
have
All
just
you
good.
on
kidding.
the show.
All good. Thank you guys very much for having me.
See ya.
Bye.